Hi, second graders. It's good to see you. We are actually going to get started on our very first project of the school year, and we are going to be learning about and working with something called patterns. Now, I know you've learned about patterns in the past. You've learned about A-B patterns, so like purple, blue, purple, blue, purple, blue. We've learned about patterns that would be like purple, green, green, purple, purple, green, green, purple, all sorts of patterns. So we're going to use patterns again today for this project, but we're going to use a variety of patterns. We're actually going to make a big bubble letter, possibly the first letter of your first name or the first letter of your last name. It's kind of up to you, but we'll make the bubble letter, and then we're going to break it into some different shapes, and we'll fill those shapes with some different patterns. I'm sorry, my dog's wanting to go outside right now, but we're gonna just keep going for a minute. So I will do a demonstration here in a minute, and I will also show you what the final project will look like. All right, so we were talking about making letters, like the first letter of our first name and the first letter of our last name, one or the other. You could do both. If you want to do your initials, you could do like my initials are MT, or if I want to throw my middle initial in, I can too. That would be MLT. I'm going to just focus on T for Tauscher today. And it has to be a font. A font is a style of writing. It has to be a font that is like a bubble letter or a block letter, something that you can fill in. So I don't want it just to be like a T like that. I want it kind of to be fancy, and I want it so that I can fill it in with different patterns or different designs to really make it look cool. So what I did, and I don't know how familiar you all are with going online and doing a search. Maybe your parents don't let you do that. That's perfectly fine and normal. But if you are allowed to do it, you could go online and just type in fonts and do an image, click on image to do an image search, and find some pretty cool letters that you can try drawing for this project. So it's up to you. It's also up to your parents. If your parents let you do an image search, you go right ahead and do that. If not, that's fine too. Just be creative and come up with your own style of letter. So I am going to make a T, like I said, and I want you guys to make these huge, like fill up the whole entire piece of paper and make them nice and thick. So as I said, I'm going to make a T. And I'm not sure if you can see the very top of my paper. It's like right here. So I'm going very close to the top of my paper. Running out of wood. So I wanted it to be a little skinnier here than here. That's why I drew it that way. I'm going to do the same thing going down. I'm going to want it a little bit thicker at the bottom than it is at the top. But again, you do whatever style you want to do. Okay, so it looks like that, and I'm going to give it a little base down here at the bottom. Like that. Okay, and right here I'm going to erase it so it's like it's all one shape. Like that. Okay, now once you're happy with it, and I want to remind you, it's been a while since you guys have seen me or heard me, but I really tell you guys a lot to press lightly with your pencil so you can erase if you make mistakes. So make sure you're pressing very lightly so that you can fix it if you do make a mistake. And then when you're ready, what you're going to do is move on to the next step. So my next step is to break this letter into different parts. We don't want them to be ginormous parts, but we also don't want them to be like little teeny parts like that. Okay? So maybe I want to do that as one shape. This is one shape. That right there is a shape. Look, I made another little T in there. That's kind of cool. And maybe two more right here. Now I did like a diagonal down, diagonal up, diagonal down. You don't have to do that same type of pattern, but you can if you want to, okay? Now, within each one of these spaces, you're going to come up with some type of design. You might do zigzags in here. Now we're going to color these in eventually, so you don't want to put them super close together or it's going to be very difficult to color them in. Okay, now maybe in this one, I want to do, circles. Some of them big, some of them little, some of them going off the edge of the shape. Okay, and then I would keep going and do a different design in here, a different one in here, a different one in here, and a different one in here. As I said earlier, if your parents will let you go online, you can look for different types of patterns or designs by doing an image search. If you type in, I'm going to write it on here, Zen Tangles. If you type in that and click on an image search, you are going to find a lot of different really cool designs that you could use, okay? Now, remember that some of those designs are done by adults, and it's a little bit easier for adults to do some difficult designs. So you want to find ones that you think you'll be able to do, okay? So when you're done with this part, I just want you to put it somewhere safe. If you have a table that you're working at and storing your school supplies at, you can leave it there. Maybe you're putting everything in a folder and then putting it in your backpack. You can put it there, but put this somewhere safe where it's not gonna get all crumbled up or something spilled on it or the dog eating it or anything like that. And then bring this back to art class next time and I will show you the next steps. So don't add any color, don't Sharpie, just do the pencil work today and bring it back to class next time. All right, I will see you next time. Have a good day.